Hi everyone, welcome to A Stitch in Time. Today is Friday, March 20th, 2026, and this is episode 324. My name's Carol. I'm known as Knits and Pearls on Ravelry, and I live east of Vancouver in the Fraser Valley of British Columbia, Canada, where it started out absolutely bucketing rain this morning. But the sun has come out, at least temporarily, and so I decided, sort of on the spur of the moment, that I was going to sit down and record this afternoon. I just got home from Fibres West, which is a yarn and fiber show held in the greater Vancouver area every March, and I was thinking about not wanting to put my purchases away until I had chatted with you. And then I thought, you know, I should take advantage of the time and the lighting because my schedule for next week is starting to fill up. And I thought, why not? I'm just gonna sit down, show you what I've been working on, show you what I picked up at Fibres West, and catch you up on a little bit of what else is happening in my life. So pardon the kind of haphazard showing of items and collecting of things, and hopefully you don't mind that. I mean, I had knitwear on. This is my Throwback Thursday by Mary Annarella of Lyrical Knits. It's the fingering weight version, knit from some Malabrigo Arroyo in the Jupiter colorway, pulling all that kind of haphazardly too. This is one of my favorite knits. It's one of my most wearable knits. So yeah, I already had knitwear on, makeup, earrings, everything. So I thought, you know what? Let's do it. So here we go. I have a whole bunch of finished projects today. I'm so excited to show you everything. So I'm just gonna look at last week's notes and kind of take information off of those. So the first thing last week that I showed you in progress was my beach day socks. So those are all finished now. These were knit from some hand spun. It was some merino nylon from Little Barn Studio, and I did a chain ply. So I took the fiber braid, I split it multiple times lengthwise, spun it all end to end, and then chain plied it to keep the colors together. And I'm really happy with how they turned out. So now that I've shown them to you, I can photograph them. I have a lot of pictures I need to take for my FO pics, but as soon as I do that, then I can wear these babies. So these were knit toe up, 56 stitches on a 2.25 millimeter needle, German short row heel, 2x2 rib. And I had plenty for 2 socks. I still have leftovers. I could have done them from the top down, but I didn't want to run out of yarn. So happy with those. I also finished a hat that I showed you last week. This is Blee's hat, it's called, by Impertinence. It was a shop sample that I saw in Wabi Sabi in Ottawa, and my sister purchased this colorway of the yarn for me for my birthday. This is Malabrigo yarn worsted, so it's the super wash version of Malabrigo worsted, and this is color 749 Selva Peruana. And so it is a 2x2 ribbed brim, and then it is the skip or Skype rib stitch that was popular probably a decade or more ago. It's just a very simple stitch based on a 2x2 rib. You do a little slip stitch, pass the stitch over kind of deal here. And then the original skip rib socks had just 2x2 rib with this stitch, but the this hat incorporates a broken rib. Maybe the light's not as good as I thought. Oh, there you go. You can see that there. There, you can see it there. And there's the stitch pattern. So I still have ends to cut off, and I think, yeah, I can show it to you. I wasn't sure if it was, I thought I might want to put this in the dryer briefly just to kind of everything back because it is a superwash, but it actually seems to fit fine without doing that. I don't usually wear beanies. They're not the most flattering hat for me, but they are nice and warm to wear. And so, and I just was really taken by this pattern. So there you go. Yes. It's not staying up very well because it is kind of stretched out a little bit after blocking. But when you wear it, it stays up. So, very nice. It's like a worsted weight hat. I can see myself knitting more of those. The next thing I'm going to show you are all of my Downton Abbey inspired sister socks. Yes, I have finished all of them. So if you're new, welcome. About 5 years ago, I began designing 3 pairs of socks based on the Downton Abbey sisters. And I was using sock sets I had purchased from Midknit Cravings Yarn Company in Saskatchewan, Canada. Saskatoon. And there was a main colorway for each of the sisters and then a coordinating mini. So they were 50-gram main color, 20-gram complementary color sets. And so I started out, I was gung-ho. I got the first 2 sisters socks, first sock done all the way up to kneading the cuff. I did them toe up so I could use as much yarn as possible. And then I got stuck on Sybil's design, got as far as the doing the heel, and then didn't know what to do after that. So it stalled for 5 years. I kept putting it on my to-do list each year. It never got done. And I was determined this year. Fibre Nymph Dye Works is hosting the Keep It Simple make-along this year. And the first quarter challenge is to whip your whips. And I thought it's a perfect motivation for me to finish these socks off. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Lady Mary, Lady Edith, and Lady Sybil. So first up is Lady Mary. Lady Mary is still a little bit damp because I soaked and blocked these yesterday. So the coordinating color for the Mary colorway is called Silk Stockings. And so I was inspired to do a lacy design to kind of bring to mind some lace stockings. And then rather than do just a simple ribbed cuff, I wanted something a little more special. And so I did attempt a couple of different patterns, stitch patterns for the cuffs, but I settled on this one. And I think it complements the lace perfectly. So these were done from the toe up, as I mentioned. Judy's Magic Cast On increased to 62 stitches. Yeah, 62 stitches in order to accommodate the lace repeat. Did a yarn over short row heel, which I had to kind of relearn. Way back when, that was my go-to heel, and I've since moved on to the German short row heel. So I had to relearn that. And then, as I mentioned, I incorporated this cuff. So very, very happy with how Lady Mary turned out. Next up is Lady Edith, also slightly damp because I washed and blocked this pair yesterday. Oops. And here we are. So the coordinating colorway for the Edith colorway was called Cloche. And I didn't know how to incorporate a hat or something inspired by a hat into the patterning, but I found this lace pattern called Raised Tire Track. And it just made me think about Edith learning to drive. I think it was like season 2 or season 3, becoming a little more independent. And I thought that was a great nod to her. So I did do just a 2x2 rib on this sock, but I matched up the purl 2 ribs with the purl 2s with the column of purls 2s on either side of this lace pattern. So it kind of flows into each other. Also have ends to cut off now that they are blocked. I'll make sure they're all dry first, but 2 down. So I guess I should probably slip Lady Edith off. I'll put them back on after so I can show you Lady Sybil. So the coordinating color for Lady Sybil was called Parasol, which is what inspired me to find a parasol lace and textured stitch in one of my stitch dictionaries. And what paralyzed me on this pair was I had the parasols going down the front of the sock, and I couldn't decide if I should put something on the back of the leg, and couldn't make up my mind. Finally, when I did get around to it, I did try a couple of different stitch patterns here, including a fan lace pattern, because I thought parasol and fan kind of go together. It just wasn't going to work, and I thought, to heck with it, just do the parasol. Now, of course, on the sock blockers, here I do have, whoops, dropped. By the way, we're sitting in my living room where I've got some decent sun coming through, but it isn't. It's kind of coming and going a little bit behind the clouds. I can see it's fading out a bit at the moment. Anyway, yes, I do have 2 done. This one I did a 1x1 twisted rib for the cuff. And I'm gonna turn these socks around because of course you can't see the parasol, the whole parasol, with them on the sock blockers like this. So there you go. There. So you cannot imagine the weight that has lifted off my shoulders. I am just thrilled to have finally finished all 3 pairs of these socks. Now, when I sat down to design them, I did it with publishing the pattern in mind. And then I thought, well, I might be more inclined to finish them if I just forget about publishing the pattern. I wasn't sure I wanted to do all of the writing up and everything that's entailed with writing a pattern. And I also think 5 years later, I'm a little bit late on the Downton Abbey train. So I also thought there's no point promoting Downton Abbey inspired socks at this stage of the game. However, having said that, my goal, no promises on exactly when it's going to happen. My goal is to write these patterns up and just offer them as free patterns, maybe even just on the blog. So I hadn't planned to record today. I was kind of hoping I might have that step done by this point, but it's not. So I will definitely let you know once I get all that done, in case you are also wanting to knit some Downton Abbey inspired socks. As I mentioned last episode, there are only a couple of the semi-solid colorways now available from Mid-Knit Cravings. You can't even get all this yarn. I think Parasol and Silk Stockings, I think those are the only two semi-solids that are still being dyed. But I'm sure, you know, you can find, well, it can be knit in anything you like. You can find your own yarn that you might think suits the pattern. So anyway, stay tuned for that. Probably don't know when it's gonna happen, but in the meantime, I'm just happy to have finished the socks and have them off my to-do list. So I need a sip of tea. I've got a little bit of a, not scratchy throat, but a little bit of a dry throat here. So last episode, I had said that besides those 3 pairs of socks, I also was hoping to finish my bell pull, my summer bell pull from Stony Creek. I have done a little bit more work on it, just a very little bit more on the E. I've got SUMM done. But I'm not going to show it to you. There's hardly anything more. And I've just realized that there's no way that's getting done by the end of March, by the end of the first quarter for the Whip Your Whips challenge. So I have turned my attention back to the Icelandscape shawls, in particular this one. So this is a pattern by Fibres West of West Knits. This was part of this year's Hyber Knit Along, and I fell in love with this pattern as soon as I saw it, and I couldn't decide between 2 different colorways that I saw in the Stephen and Penelope shop. So I set about looking at alternatives, and I put together 2 sets of colors from don't think I have it right in front of me. Oh, yes I do. Holskarn, that's right, Holskarn, trying to remember. So Holskarn Super Soft, and I modeled this colorway after the Geyser colorway that I saw on the Stephen and Penelope shop. So I am so close to finishing it. I've been working on it a bunch this past week. I have completed the mountain section, and I'm about 1.5 rows from finishing the border, and then all I need to do is bind off with a what's it called? I-cord bind off, and then it's done. So I also kind of thought, well, maybe I should finish this before I record again. But again, that's going into next week, and I don't know how that time is going to work out. So now my lighting is changing. It's not as good. But when I finish it, I'll make sure that I record in good light so that you can see it well. I have shown this numerous times before, all the different sections. So here are the completed mountains, which is my favorite part of the shawl. And I've been working on the striped kind of feather and fan or ripply border. So it incorporates 4 colors of stripes, so the same striping sequence as this, only the first 4 colors, and then I'm binding off with the 5th color. So it won't have any of the green or dark blue here. It'll just have those first glacially, geyserly looking colors. Made a number of mistakes on this border, and it's now up to almost 800 stitches. You increased again on the first row of this border part from 500 and something up to the high 700s. And I've made numerous mistakes, had to pick things back, but I've done my last pattern row where I need to worry about yarn overing and knitting two together. And so now I'm just straight knitting till the bind off. So I'll see if I can, it's in the middle of a row. Like I said, I wasn't planning on recording, so, but I did put it on a bigger needle, so that gives you an idea. Oh, so close, oh, so close. So I'm very excited to be just about finished that. Now the sun's coming in better. Does that improve the lighting? I hope so. I think especially if I hold it back here. And then once I finish this, I will pick up the second one. Not sure I'll get it done by the end of March, but that's okay. I wasn't sure I was gonna get this one done, so that's a bonus. All right, another sip, and then I'll show you what I've been spinning. One disadvantage with flying by the seat of your pants and working unscripted is you might forget projects. So I will insert this here. I have been working on this pair of socks for my husband. I gave him this yarn for Christmas. And on the first sock, I've gotten as far as finishing the gusset. It's a 68 stitch sock from the top down, 2x2 rib, traditional heel flap and gusset. And it's being knit from this Prolana Golden Socks Matterhorn. Color number is 450.10A. I think it's called blue red or red blue if you see it sometimes in shops. So these I'm calling my experimental socks because I have been knitting them on the Addy Sock Wonder needles, which are a 10-inch circular needle, and one needle is an inch longer than the other. So this one is currently on magic loop because I put them on magic loop to do the heel and gusset. And I did the heel out of this complimentary red yarn, just some leftovers I had. Never know how to say this brand, so I'm just gonna put it on the screen for you to read. And it's color 1421. So I have been working away on sock number 2 on the needles. I'm getting pretty close to time to do the heel. Actually very close. The jury's still out on these needles. I am determined to knit the whole pair except for the heel and toe on them. The things I do like about them is it is nice to just go round and round and round. You don't have the join. Sometimes when I knit magic loop, I will have, you can see, I don't know if this is the best to show you because of course I've got gusset stitches going there, but I do sometimes get a bit of a line there from magic loop. I'm just looking at if these socks show it. Yeah, a little bit there. You can see where the needles join. You sometimes get a bit of a line. Doesn't really bother me a lot, but it's there. So you definitely eliminate that. I feel like I have a tighter gauge when I am knitting on these small needles, round and round. And it's not bad. There's still, to me, the magic loop, because of the longer needle tips, I feel like it's more comfortable for me. And I sort of think, well, you're going round and round, but you have to switch out needles to do the heel flap and gusset anyway, or at least I do. I assume you have to, maybe you don't, but I couldn't imagine doing them doing that on here. So I guess I'm kind of ambivalent about them. I know some people rave about 9-inch circulars and just love them. I don't hate them, which I don't like 9-inch circulars. I do not like those at all, but these sock wonders that have one tip that's about an inch longer than the other does make a difference. Only I switch them around. I have the shorter tip in my right hand and the longer tip in my left, even though apparently it's supposed to be the other way around. This is the way I find it most convenient, because I guess I need more to hold on to with my left hand. I'm a thrower, and I guess I don't need quite as much with my right hand. In any case, I will see it through and finish this one on the 9-inch and switch back once I finish the heel flap and gusset on this one. But I have been working on them, as you can see. So hopefully Cameron will have a pair of new socks pretty soon. He's recently, actually, I don't want to gross anyone out, but he just last week, actually a week ago today, had one of his big toenails removed permanently. He had an accident a few years ago, and it affected the growth of his nail, and instead of going longer like it's supposed to, it just kept getting thicker and thicker. And rather than have to get that taken care of every so often, he's just decided to eliminate the problem because it's never going to grow back properly. But he's been putting holes in his hand knit socks, and now he won't. So I think he has 2 or 3 pairs, which I may actually remove the old toe and knit a new one in if they're in good enough shape and I've got leftover yarn. I think I'm going to fix a few of his pairs, but some have hit the garbage, ones that have had more wear than others. Anyway, back to where I was before. I have had on my wheel this beautiful blue and purpley colored merino mohair and silk blend from Useful Creations, who is local to me. She was down at Fibres West today. I didn't buy any of her things, didn't look too long in her booth because I know I have regular access to her dyeing, so I can get more if I want it. And this is how the first bobbin looks. It's quite fine. I took the braid, split it vertically into 6. On 2 bobbins, I'm spinning 2 strips end to end in one direction, and then on the 3rd bobbin, I'm starting from the opposite end, spinning end to end, and then plying the 3 together. So there'll be some barber poling for sure that will happen. So love how this is spinning up. It's just a beautiful, beautiful fiber. Jude, today I told her what I was working on, and she's not really carrying this anymore. She has to buy quite a lot of it at a time to do it, but that's it's too bad because it's beautiful. So, speaking of spinning, speaking of Fibres West, let me show you what I got. So I went down with my daughter-in-law, Stephanie. We asked my daughter if she wanted to go, but she said she didn't need any more fiber and things right now, and so she declined. But we went, she picked me up at 8:30 this morning. We drove through the absolute pouring rain to get there. We got there about 9:30. So I had, sorry, I'm just making noise here as I'm pulling things out. So I had contacted, I'm just looking around to see, oh, I know. This is what I'm going to show you. So these are the bobbins for my Dreaming Robots Electric Eel Wheel 6.1. And I want to do a sweater spin some point this year, and I need more bobbins. And so I did get in touch with Chaotic Fibres, which is where I purchased my wheel from. And she was at the show. Her business is located on Vancouver Island, but she had sent out a newsletter to say that if you wanted to purchase anything and pick it up at the show, that she would be there and be happy to do that. So I did order another package of bobbins. They come in packs of 3. So I got 3 more bobbins. That gives me 9 altogether. And then another thing I really wanted was a, what do you call this thing? A reps per inch tool. But I wanted one that had the cutouts for the yarn so that you could take, instead of just putting it up against a flat surface, I'm just looking for the end here so I can show you what this does. There we go. So if you want to know what reps per inch either your singles or your plied yarn is, you can either wrap it, oops, I've got to loosen some off here, hang on. You can literally wrap it and measure how many strands you have per inch. But a faster way to do it, if you just want to check real quick, is you can line your yarn up with a line. And this, what I wanted was a line that had a little cutout in it so that it would stay put and you can see how much it fills it up. And so like this one, I would say spinning it as a lace weight, it lines up with the lace. But once it's spun, you can see if you're spinning, you know, a DK or a worsted or a fingering or a sport, etc. So it's just a quicker way to do it. I liked the idea of the indentation. And then this is to see what angle your plies are spinning at. Haven't really delved into that aspect of my spinning yet, but it is something you can check to try and keep a spin consistent across the whole, the whole spin, whether it be one skein or more. So I was happy to find that because it was something on my list. And then of course I had to pick up some fiber from her. So I had a hard time deciding, but I did spot this one and I didn't even have to think about it. Oh, now my sun's going again. So you're not gonna see this in its true glory. Come on, sunshine, come back, come back. Oh, there, yeah, there you go. So this is a 70-30 Merino Tencel. Oh, it's so pretty, can't wait. And then I got 2 braids of Merino nylon, so 75-25 Merino nylon. So that's one. And then the other, I guess I'm attracted to the gold and the brown kind of. So those will be fun. And I was wanting something that had some really definite color changes because I want to give that 3-ply 2 ways experiment another go. So I was thinking that this might be a good one for that. Possibly this one too. Once I unbraid them, I'll have a better idea, but I think that these are going to be better candidates for that technique. So fun again. Oh, my light's going. And then I just spotted this particular braid walking by a booth. It's Simply Fibre by Nicole. Just caught my eye with the blue and the brown and the green and the gold again. And this is Haunui. Haunui Fudge is called. It's 22.8 microns. It's very fine. And the woman explained to me that, the dyer explained to me that her, Haunui. Haunui. Let me show you how it's spelled. It's apparently a flock in New Zealand, and it's just the only place you find this particular breed, and it's very fine, like similar to a Merino kind of fineness. And so she sold me on it. Thought I'd give it a try. I keep looking, trying to hope the colors come out better. Oh, I'm so excited with all the new fiber that I want to spin. And last, well, I did also pick up a new big bottle of Eucalyptus. Oh, there's more sun. Let me see if that catches the light better. Like I told you, I'm flying by the seat of my pants right now. Okay, you get the idea. It's a little bit more muted, I think. That's a pretty good look at it. Anyway, yeah, I bought some more Eucalyptus, and then Crafty Jack's Boutique was there. They're fairly local to me, dyer, and I've seen their, I've bought their sock yarn before, and I did see them at Knit City last fall, but I didn't actually purchase something from them. But they have these different combo sets that are designed to do combo spins. So the dyer puts together some colorways that you can, pardon me, that she believes are gonna be complementary for doing a combo spin. And combo spins can be done various ways. I think what I'm gonna do, these are 3 2-ounce braids of Targhee bamboo and Tussah silk, 80-10-10. And I think what I'm gonna do is just do the simplest method and spin them each individually and apply the 3 together. But, pardon me, there are other ways to do combo spinning, including dividing them into small pieces and spinning them together kind of at random and then plying them. But I think I might just stick to the most basic combo spin for this set. So I'm really excited to try that because I've never put anything like that together before, and I'm very intrigued with how it's gonna turn out. So that is it for my Fibres West haul. I'm actually really pleased because I had made a list before I went. I got the tools I wanted, or I should say, yeah, the tools, my bobbins, this, and Eucalyptus, but then I also got the combo spin pack I wanted, and I got some sock yarn. I wanted some sock yarn that would have more distinct color changes, and then I allowed myself room to go off, purchase additional things. So actually I came out with 3 extras, so that's not too bad. Okay, life. It's been a pretty good couple of weeks since I spoke. I've become a year older, or I turned a year older. That was on Wednesday. And we didn't do anything like big for my birthday. Cameron and I just went out for dinner, and then our son Matt and his wife Stephanie came over that evening to bring a card over, and then Stephanie said she would take me out for lunch today. So that's what we did after going to Fibres West. We went out for lunch. And then the weekend before that, we did get together at my oldest sister's house, the four of us sisters that live in town and our spouses, and celebrated spring birthdays, which, spring birthdays and her husband's, okay, let me reword that. We celebrated some family birthdays. Usually we do fall and winter and spring in 3 times. This year, because my oldest sister had a significant birthday, we celebrated separately, and so her poor husband had to wait all the way from January till now to get his birthday cards and gifts. So we were celebrating 3 birthdays together, mine, Cameron's, and my brother-in-law's. So I got some nice cards and money and gift cards from my family. So you can see what I spent some of it on right here. Other than that, I guess we're winding up curling. We thought we were done like just under 2 weeks ago, but it turned out they decided to do playoffs for our league for the first time ever, and so we played last Monday, and then we play again this coming Monday, and then curling is all finished for the year. And then my husband's ball starts the following Monday, so no time off. We go right from one sport to another. So he's pretty excited about that. Hopefully the weather will improve. We've had a lot of rain lately. March definitely is, well, at least the middle of it is kind of lion-like weather. I can't remember how it came in, but it sure, the middle of the month has sure been wild and crazy. So I don't play. He plays slow pitch, which is a form of baseball. It uses a softball and an underhand pitch. And you have an extra player on the field compared to baseball, but other than that, it's basically the same idea. I don't play, but I do score keep, so I'm not really looking forward to doing that at the beginning, because it often is kind of cold and miserable, but who knows, maybe the weather will change between now and then, and we'll have a nice April. That would be good. I think that's it. So hopefully this wasn't too, all over the place. I'm excited to talk to you again. I have not answered any comments from last episode, but I do plan to do that before this one goes out. Oh, speaking of curling, we've been watching a lot of curling too. We had the men's Canadian championships not that long ago, and now it's the Worlds. So it's women's Worlds right now, and men's are coming up soon too. Anyway, my nose is about to drip, as I'll sniffle as I say goodbye, and thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon. Take care till then. Bye.